Chris Landry on your radio. Make sure to find him on X at Landry Football. Check out the website, LandryFootball.com. Always great stuff, NFL, college, inside the lines, outside the lines, everything at LandryFootball.com. All right, so Chris, you're sitting there and you're watching Detroit. It looks like they're just going to run away with this thing. And then everybody's going to circle the fourth down call by Dan Campbell. And there's a lot of criticism to that. Are you in that camp? Or I'll be honest with you, when I was in real time, I said, this is the call. Like you go ahead and you try to put this thing away, or was that ultimately the wrong call?
Well, a couple of things. And I've learned this in the league for a long time. And coaching in college for a while, as I mentioned, it's different. When you get in the NFL, you got to do two things in playoff football. You got to coach your team and you got to coach the game. And I think people miss the coaching the game part. See, I thought Dan did what he felt he needed to do because that's how his team is built, and that's fine. It's what's got him to this point. But I thought after dominating in the first half, and by the way, it could have been worse. It could have been 28, maybe even 34 or 35. So, I mean, but they had a almost flawless first half. You get into the second half. If people say, well, you shouldn't coach different with the lead. Oh, you absolutely have to coach different with the lead. You have to. It's a game of football with a clock, and you don't sit on the ball, but you have to be smart and you have to be really prudent with your decisions. I thought it was a little risky for me. Up 14 with a chance to go up 17. It's not the 3 points because look, you could have missed the field goal. Just like they missed the fourth down conversion. When you miss a field goal and you miss converting on a fourth down, that's the same thing as a turnover. That's the same thing as a fumble. It's the same thing as an interception. I know field position may factor a little bit into where those things occur, but it's a turnover in any way you look at it. I think if you go up 17, you go up another possession, then you're in a position to where you eliminate any form of momentum boost from San Francisco. And that's where I think they were fighting. Now, by going for it, no question. They convert it, they go down, eat some more clock, even though it's early, get a field goal later or get a touchdown. It's probably out of reach for San Francisco. And that's what he's trying to do. He's going for the knockout punch. So I get that. I understand it. But I also think you have to look at his team. His team was not able to defend the pass. And I think the only thing was the high pressure in San Francisco not really getting in sync offensively helped their cause a little bit. But I think they felt like he couldn't trust his defense enough, as well as they had played to that point. He wanted to put them away with his offense, which that was the strength of Detroit's team, and they dominated San Francisco offensive front in the first half. So I understand his move. I'm not overly critical of it, but I would have done it differently. I would have kicked the field goal to add another 3. And because at that point, it's not like San Francisco at that point, Jake, was making its run. Kick a field goal, we get the field goal back. You get me? I mean, it's a big momentum shift that I think that he missed. That's what he missed because in his mind, that's what he's doing. That's what got us here. That's what we do. By God, I'll put it in the – I get all that. Nothing wrong with that. But if it doesn't work, then you open yourself up to the fact that was that the smartest thing you do? Now, would you do it again, Dan? Well, he'd probably do it again. At some point, he's got to realize that coaching playoff football games in the NFL is different, and you got to protect that lead. And you got to – when you got a team down, yes, you could put them away with that fourth down call, but you also could put another 3 on the board and put another nail in the coffin and make it more difficult for them to punch out. I just think that that's the part that I see more than just the 3 points is stop the momentum from, or eliminating any possibility of a momentum shift, which was all Detroit's in that era. And then, look, there's other things. You got an interception that just dropped, hits the face mask, and Ayuk makes a great play. Then you come back and fumble. And when that started to happen, it was you felt the onslaught at that point. It was like a snowball going downhill, and it wasn't going to be stopped. But it could have been stopped earlier, in my view.